now. All right, Jacinta, go right to the slides. Oh, nice picture. Happy birthday. Oh, today's actually the 19th. I don't know if Anna's on, but if you're on, Anna, happy birthday. It's also our anniversary, work anniversary. Happy birthday, Karen. Next slide. Happy anniversary to Anna. Her anniversary is on the 20th, 6 years. That's it. Open house traffic was a pretty good weekend. I'm going to show you some pictures later on about open houses. This person. All right. Next slide. It started off slow. We took one listing, but things are picking up now. 5 buyer control sales, all under one roof is still strong. So the first few weeks were a little bit slow. We just came off a really busy weekend, 7, 8, or 9 contracts, a few listings. And I already got 2 contracts for today. So things are starting to heat up again, it looks like. So that's good. Next slide. We'll send these out. So wait, let me minimize this. Hold on a second. All right. So that's talking about heating up. This is a townhouse in Leesburg. Okay, this is the line waiting outside for open house. Okay, you can't see the end of the line. That's how big the line is. It was 36 degrees out. By coincidence, this happens to be not our listing. It is a Weicker listing, but not ours. It's out of the Loudon office. It was our agent whose buyer, are looking for these houses. And I think Dawn's on if she wants to. I think I must have spoke to Dawn. I don't know. I think she was about to pull her hair out. I think Hunter wrote at least 8 or 9 contracts for these people. No matter what we wrote, it wasn't enough. Is that correct, Dawn?
What? I'm sorry, what did you just ask me?
About those people, how many contracts, and no matter what we wrote, we couldn't get a contract through until finally this weekend, right?
Right. I think we actually wrote about 5
over
the course of 1 week. And it was brutal, just brutal out there.
Even no home inspection, waiving the appraisal, still didn't get them. I mean, it's just like, yeah.
Right, and 35,000 over asking price, still lost.
And we're talking about 35,000 over a price point of in the 4s or high 4s, right? We're not talking about 8
high
or 9.
4s, high 4s, low 5s.
Yeah.
We finally won, thank God.
Yeah. So it just makes the case again to make any effort you can to possibly do an open house before it actually goes in bright. Do something, as an exclusive for a few days. There's a high probability you can sell it yourself. And why wouldn't we want to do that? So, all right. So I just wanted to share that picture. I thought it was unbelievable. And I think Dawn said there was actually some tension and possible fights breaking out on these lines for cutting, right? Right, Dawn?
Yeah, it got a little tense.
Yes. All right. All right. Next slide. A lot of people trying to get it now, up to 45. So just a couple things coming up. I want to make sure we're clear. Thursday morning, and we'll send out the link. Thursday at 10:30, Naima Johnson from Bright will do a 1-hour presentation. I would encourage you to come on. She's going to talk about the upcoming changes to the Bright website. So it'd be important for you to see that. And of course, take any questions and any concerns. She'll stay on and answer and talk about. So it's hard to get them to come. So once they come, we should try to be on it. So Thursday at 10:30, Bright MLS will do. I think it's about 1 hour, maybe a little less. Depends on how many questions and things as well. So that'll be a Zoom meeting. We'll send out the link. Next slide. Jacinta, you want to? So we're doing a workshop. I think it's a workshop being done by multiple MTSs. Is that correct?
Yes. So the whole capital region, we've been getting together and organizing my Weicker workshops. So it'll be myself, Elena, and I believe 2 other of my colleagues will be coming together on the 25th and giving you an overview on how you can use mass email to get more listings.
right.
So this week I will be actually presenting, so you'll get to hear my lovely voice for about an hour or so. So there will be a Zoom link, and I will also be doing it in person across the way. So please let me know if you want to come in person, because I got to keep numbers to a minimum. Otherwise, please join us, and we'll have more information in the coming days.
And I think I was told this morning, Jacinta, the time is definitely 10 o'clock, but we'll
Yes,
confirm
that's correct. It will be at 10 o'clock, but we'll send out the information once it's all been finalized.
And look, I know many of you aren't that engaged in my WICRD, for whatever reason, but it wouldn't hurt to go to these workshops. You always get, anybody who's been doing this for a while and you go to different trainings, you always get something out of it, okay? If you're not all in on certain things, but you'll always pick something up. So I would suggest strongly that you pop in on some of these workshops. It can only help. All right, so when is that?
That's
25th.
Monday. Next week.
And by the way, the Naima Johnson one from Bright on Thursday at 10:30, we will still be having our training, our contract training or whatever training, our Thursday morning coaching at 9:30. We'll just make sure we get done absolutely on time, or even a few minutes early, so we could jump on the next Zoom meeting. But right now I plan on still doing it Thursday. But we'll start promptly at 9:30 so we can get done by 10:20 or something like that. All right, next slide. So yeah, so we sent out emails yesterday. If you're in one of the clubs or made one of the clubs, you got an email congratulating you and asking you to confirm. If you believe there's a mistake in the club level, you need to tell me today. Tomorrow the numbers get finalized. I spoke to some of you who do have, some questions. Now, if you think it's off, but you're like, a million off from the next club, don't even worry about it. But if you're on the cusp, if you need 10 million to get to ambassador and you're at 9,800,000 and you think we're off by something, please let me know right away. But those club numbers will be finalized, I think, tomorrow afternoon. So if you have a question or something, just let me know. And if you didn't get an email and believe you made a club, let me know. But we believe we sent to everybody who qualified for a club level, we sent them an email. All right, next slide. Oh, just, I find these things, just interesting. It's good to keep on top of these. So a lot of people think, the Department of Justice is filing antitrust lawsuits against Association of Realtors based on how we do commissions and all those things I talked about in the past. But they think some of it is because of things like this. So they have recordings of a rival brokerage in Houston recording other agents and other brokerages steering people away from low commission listings. All right, try not to go to ruining our business. Things like, you got to be very, now, first of all, in our region right now, I don't think any of you can steer anybody away from anything. If you're lucky enough to find something for your buyer, you don't care if they're offering 2, 2.5, you're going. But remember, that's our job, okay? Your job is not to choose and pick what you go to because of the commission being offered, okay? You're responsible to do what you need to do with your clients. It means you go. Now, if you feel that strongly about your 3%, which I have no problem with, then you make sure your buyer agency agreement covers that. I know it's far and few between that would ever say to their client, hey, they're offering 2, you got to pay me the 1. But believe it or not, there are agents who do, and you have the right to do that if that's it. But you don't have the right to start ignoring listings because of the low commission. And, in recent times, it just looks that's the way it's going pretty much anyhow. Listings are being offered 2.5. And that's why we have more and more agents that are taking 3.5 when they have the listing. I know for a lot of us that been around for a long time, that seems to rub us the wrong way. But, if you're not doing something like that, if you're not taking the 3 or the 3.5, you're kind of getting burnt on both ends. Because when you have a buyer, people are offering 2 and 2.5. When you get a listing and you have to take it for 5 and you're still offering 3 to the co-oping side, it's a big problem because you're getting hit on both ends, okay? And you're going to find yourself that if it used to take you whatever your goals were, if it used to take you 10 deals a year to make the $90,000 you wanted, it's going to take you 12, 13, 14 deals based on these commissions. So I would encourage you to keep those things in mind, but it's just always remember, what your responsibility is. But they got all kinds of recordings. If you read the article of people saying things that are really bad to fellow agents that they were recording. So, all right, keep that in mind. Next slide. Oh, okay. Before I talk about this slide, I did want to mention one more thing. I don't know, is Leslie Rodriguez on? Leslie, you on? She's usually here in the office. Okay, she's not on. So I was gonna tell if I say anything incorrect, correct me. Oh, Leslie, you there?
I'm
Sorry,
muted.
bad connection if that's you.
I
Now,
can't-
I just wanted to make a point. A few weeks back, I don't remember, a month ago, I don't know if it was in a training or in just a general meeting, talking about our responsibility as agents when it comes to our clients' listings, about knowing the market you're in. It doesn't mean just when you get a chance, you do some comps and here's what it is, and the comps are 90 days old and the market is what it is today, and you're not paying attention to that. I mean, in a world where we continually have to prove our value, okay, as we all know, being the holders of information no longer means anything, since they can find out anything they want about a listing just as fast as you can. So it's very important that you can prove your value, that people understand your value. And one of those things are being a real expert on a community, an area, understand way down deep into the weeds what's going on. And I want to use this as an example. And if Leslie, if you're there and you want to correct anything, if your connection's any better, I couldn't hear you before. Leslie came to me, we were talking about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, about a potential listing she had. And again, I don't remember all exact, but it was a condo community, high-end luxury. And this listing, in the comps that Leslie pulled in a discussion with me, looked like it should have been like a $1.3 million listing, maybe 132, maybe 133 at max, right? And that's where we usually end for most agents. But Leslie came to me and she said, we were just talking about it. She's in the office a lot. And she said, Mark, my clients are in a big rush. And I got to tell you, knowing what I know about what's out there and what's going on in this area and what's going on particularly this community, and how I know that people who have this kind of money that are looking for this model that you can't find, price is not going to matter probably. I mean, this is the case Leslie made. And then she proceeds to put it on at one point, and if I'm wrong, but I think 1.49, okay? 1.49 at something that I thought I couldn't see above 1.3. Okay, we're talking about almost, $200,000, okay? Yeah, $200,000. Anyhow, make a long story short, I can't remember how many days, but within 3, 4, 5 days, Leslie has a full price offer on the property. So just think about that. Think about an agent that went to do this listing that didn't know what Leslie knows about the area, the community, what's going on, the expertise she has on inventory, and how people are thinking about this kind of model. They would have put it on for what? Leslie literally made this client close to $200,000 more than I guarantee you 8 out of 10 agents would have done. I mean, that's just mind-boggling to me. And that's talk about showing your value. If Leslie has to go on an appointment and somebody says, well, I can get Redfin to do it for 5 or 4. Yeah, this is the kind of thing you want to be able to point out. You're worried about my measly 1%. How about $150,000, $200,000 in this case? Now, it's an extreme case, but it's a true case. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And Leslie, any correction there? If you have a better connection, anything there you want to say? All right, don't know where Leslie went, but that's the story there. So it just to make the point again, how important it is to know and understand the areas you're doing business in, to be a true expert, not just when the time comes, I'll run a few comps and see. Okay, so that was, I thought, important. Next thing, I want to touch base on, in talking to a few agents, Lisa and a few other ones, about different things we should try and do in 2021. So a couple of things, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. I want to talk about, this is the first one. Starting this Friday, we will send out to the whole capital region all the open houses for Saturday and Sunday, okay? Jacinta, you can hit that arrow and scroll on it. So every Friday, we're going to send this out. It's just a sample of what's going to go out, right? And we're going to pull them from the multiple listing, okay? So that's all there's there. So, you know, as long as you enter your open house into the multiple list, into Bright like you're supposed to, we will pull them probably Friday by lunchtime, and we will put this out to, in our area, 1,700 real estate agents, including you guys, so you see it. This has been asked a few times. We've tried it different ways, but now we built the templates. We might, depending on what we're trying to decide is depending upon how many there are, we'll combine them all. If there's a lot, we might split up Maryland and Virginia. This office, it really doesn't make a difference because we have agents do business in all those areas. So it wouldn't make a difference if it's combined. And you know, the conversation I've had with, like I said, with Lisa and a few other agents, it's just good for our PR, good for us to see our name out there. So I do agree, and this will start this Friday. So if you have it in Bright, we'll put it out there. If you don't have it in Bright for some reason and you still want it, then you better get it to Jacinta by Friday morning. But if you're doing one, it should be in Bright, and that's where we're going to pull them from. All right, any questions? So that's one of the things we're doing starting this Friday, and it'll happen every Friday. Any questions about that? All right. All right. The other ones I don't have slides for, but I want to talk. Let me see what the next slide is anyhow. What is the next slide? All right, we'll get to that in a minute. The other things that we're trying and we're working on, I actually have a workshop myself today, which is Cinta and a couple other managers and their MTSs. I saw again in conversations with some of our agents that talked about some of the things they've seen out there that they'd like to see us do. So we're trying to put these together. So we believe that at least twice a month, we're going to give you some content to push out to your clients, so you don't have to look for it. You don't have to do it. So for example, once a month, it could be real estate content, maybe national numbers, maybe local real estate numbers and graphs or charts. We will create it, okay? If you are a My Weichert person, obviously it'll be in your database, you can push it out. If you are not a My Weichert person, we will send it to you. Jacinta will send you whatever we created in a format that you can push out by pushing a button to your clients, whether you're Buffini, whether you're, you know, whatever you use. But in an effort to give you things to stay in touch that you don't have to worry about creating, okay? So once a month, it might be that. The other time in a month, it might be something community-wise, whether a community in a big, you know, picture, you know, the DC metro area, or maybe something more local, the events calendar in the greater Alexandria area, things like that, just as something for you just to click on. And once again, you've given information to your clients, just something to stay in touch with your clients. So we are working on that and hope to have the first ones of those going out real soon. Actually, there will be one going out if we get it done correctly today. To give you an example. So today we're working on a template to send to everybody about the closings in DC because of inauguration. It'll have a map embedded, it'll have all the streets. So again, just something for you to send to your clients. You know, you click on this, you know, we'll send it to you, you send it out to your clients. If you need help on knowing how to do that, Jacinta can help you. Obviously, we prefer if you would start using Weichert, My Weichert, because all these things that she puts in My Weichert and all these things she makes available are there for a click, okay? And we make your life so much easier. But these things I'm talking about now, we'll give it to you both ways because it's important that you guys have it and able to use it. And if you're not using My Weichert, we're not trying to punish you because you don't use My Weichert. So we will send these things out to you and we'll get that going. I think today we're going to send out the one with the map and the streets, so you have that to send out to your clients if you'd like. The other thing I'm working on, I'm not going to talk much about this now, but I'll probably ask, I don't know, you know, between a couple, I'm doing it with a couple of the other offices. We might have, you know, some agents on a Zoom that are fairly busy. We are working on trying to put together a transaction coordinator, a virtual like a lot of companies use virtual. Okay. There is a fee for that. We try to keep it like most companies charge. But I'm probably going to try to experiment with it. We have somebody identified that can do it. We are working on all the things that would be done, the cost, what they would do, how they would do it. I will probably have a couple of you jump on a Zoom to get your opinions on it and get your thoughts on it, have a conversation, maybe next week, a 30-minute Zoom with about a dozen agents between these offices. And then I think if we do it, I would probably experiment with it. Because like anything new, there'll be some issues, and I want to find a couple agents I can experiment with and see how it works. Again, in my past, anytime I try to create transaction coordination, it becomes hit or miss because one, you have a bunch of agents that are control freaks, so they don't want to give up their stuff. Two, for the transaction coordinator to do what they need to do, you still have to turn things in properly to them. You know, they can't do it. They can't load your pictures and get it posted and order your home inspection, do all those things if you don't give them the information. But I think we're going to try it, and I think we'll try to experiment with it and see how that works. So I'll be reaching out to some for a Zoom meeting on that. So those are some ideas for 21. The thing about the monthly email with, community stuff, if you have any thoughts or opinions about information you'd like for us to pull and research, Jacinta to pull, like I said, well, I think one a month should be something about real estate numbers, and maybe another one about community things or, specific to either the Alexandria area or specific, sometimes it'll be maybe the whole greater capital region area. So that's my thoughts on those things. Any questions, any thoughts, any comments on those ideas? I see some people are texting. That is great. All right. Again, you got to share me your thoughts if you want these things to work. But I think that's what a lot of people have been looking for, some things like that they don't have to create it, they don't have to do it. So I think it'll be very helpful to a lot. But again, all these things only work if you do it. If you go through the trouble of creating it, you got to go through the trouble to send it to your database. All right. And again, if your database is in my white grid, it's very easy. If it's something else you have, then you're gonna have to send it to the way you want to send it to them, but it shouldn't be that difficult. You just embed it and send it. If you need help with the database stuff, my white grid, just reach out to Jacinta. All right. So we're excited about all that, and hopefully that helps a lot of people, and it'll make it that 2021 easier and a better year as well. All right, so December awards, company-wide and local offices and things like that. All right, first slide. So this is December regional awards. Okay, dollar volume. I don't know if Suki's on. She was #1 in the capital region in dollar volume. So congratulations to Suki. Next slide. Listings. Leslie Rodriguez, who's been on a tear with listings. It was #3 in the, I don't know how you can be 3 if one, I guess either #2 since it was tied for #1, but anyhow, Leslie's up there with that. And then there was a whole bunch at #4 in the capital region. Jen Collins, no, just one there. Jen Collins also on listing. So congrats to you guys. Next slide. Sales. We had a few people in the #4 slot. Sherry Carroll, Karen Wooten, Del Epps, all hit the list in sales for the month of December. So congrats to you guys. Great job. Next slide. These are the office awards, regional for the capital region. First slide. Once again, I think you guys just keep making me look good. We were #1 in dollar volume. Next slide. We were #1 in listings. Next slide. We were #1 in revenue units. Next slide. And we were #1 in sales. So, hey, yeah, you guys are amazing. It was an unbelievable, December. And again, we keep crushing numbers that just, that are just not usual in the months, like November and December. In December, this office usually does something like 28, 29 transactions, 7. I think we did 40 some transactions. I mean, it's just, just keeps going. The business keeps going. So I've always said, just got to take advantage of it while it's still going on. Right now, we don't see any short end to it. We believe inventory will get worse and worse. So try to get listings and try to sell your listings. All right, next slide. Is Richard Fred on?
Yeah, I'm on. All right. Everybody hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
All right. $2,500. Let's listen. Next slide, Jacinta. So market update, lots of economic news. Inflation, that's the big one that's in focus. The Fed, the government, everyone on the planet seems to want inflation to go up for fears of deflation. So it's gonna happen. So you guys see the canary in the coal mine. You see Bitcoin going from 10,000 to 40,000. You see gold going up. You see real assets like real estate, houses going up. Inflation will eventually happen, but as of right now, we have no inflation, and that's good for rates. And so economic stimulus will continue, because as long as we don't have inflation, then they'll continue to push for inflation. So those of you who think that that housing will houses will go down in value, none of the information is showing that. So home prices will continue to rise as long as we're in this situation. So unemployment claims, of course, they're up. Retail sales down, industrial production higher. Stock market on a pause, basically, for all this stuff, but really because of the election and the changeover into the Biden administration, waiting for things to happen so that stocks can move one way or the other. But next slide. Mortgage rates, first time, we usually flip right through this slide, but all the way to the right there, you can see the tick up. The tick up creates an incredible amount of urgency for folks. So one little tick up right there meant 1,000 calls to finally do their refinance, to finally jump off the fence, to get pre-approved for a home. I mean, it was amazing what that one little tick. So we were at 2.69, it went to 2.79 on the Freddie Mac average with 0.7 points. I can't tell you how much in the psyche of folks that changed. One little tick up. First time rates increased since of any measurable point since March. So a big deal. People jumping off the fence right and left. One little tick up. So and rightfully so. If you were looking at rates at 3.5 there on the blue line on the left, in February, and in our business, the trend is your friend. So if you're watching things trend down, you would wait, right? Why should I refinance now? Why should I do this? And then when it ticks up, that's when you do, right? So I don't blame folks for jumping off the fence, but if you have clients that you've not paid attention to for a while because they were thinking, rates are going to continue to go down, I'm going to wait. Now's the time to jump back on them. Next slide, please. There we go. Instill a sense of urgency. Next slide. $2,500 bonus. There's a high demand for loan officers in the company. As offices expand, so does the need for our job. If any of you know any good loan officers, let Mark or I know, and there's $2,500 in it for you. Next slide. VA. So over half our loans typically are VA loans. We get constant questions about, are they hard? Is there another inspection? Is there a different appraisal? Are they going to picket things? None of that's really true. So I try to get that out of your heads. If you have any specific questions, call me. But the one thing that is true is that you can't waive the appraisal contingency. So if there's anything bad about doing a VA loan, it's that you can't waive the appraisal. Now, you can write in there that an addendum saying that we're going to pay up to $200,000 of a low appraisal, or any of those kind of things, or 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever, as long as the clients have the money. But I mean, the interest rates are 2.25%. You saw the rates on the last slide for conventional. 2.25% with 0 points, $1.5 million, 100% financing. Everyone after Vietnam, for the most part that we approve, has some percentage of disability if they're out of the military, whether it's 5% or 10% or 50%. If you're out of the military and you have you use a CPAP machine at night, you're 50% disabled. So there's going to be some percentage of disability for the folks that recently getting out of the military, which waives their funding fee. And that we at Weichert charge no fees, so no processing fee, no underwriting fee, no application fee for active military or veterans. So it really is a popular and great program. It annoys everyone on the planet in the know when an agent says, "Oh, I don't like VA loans. You know, I don't like those. We don't accept VA loans. You know, it's too difficult. There's too many things." There isn't. So give us a call. Let us know if you have questions. We'll go through it. We've just heard, and really it's not our office, but the other offices out there, you just have a lot of misinformation going around. So if there's anything we can do to clear that up, just let us know. Next slide. Customer service has been at 100% in our office for an entire year now, so we're super excited about that. But next slide. Trivia question of the week. What's the smallest payment possible on a VA loan? Anyone?
0.
Ah, yeah, very good. Thanks, Sandy. That was nice. I like that. Yeah, 0 down. And any questions for Fred and I, we're available at all times. Thank you so much for all the support. Jacinta, you can skip over that, but thank you very much.
Hey, Rich.
Mhm.
It's Mark. So
Yeah.
two of the things we hear a lot, I hear a lot and we hear a lot about VA is, not so much about getting the loan and things like that. Do you, in your experience, find VA inspections and VA appraisals to be tougher than the regular, conventional?
So there is no VA inspection. So that went away in 2004. There's no separate inspection. So the appraisal, they have a checklist that's pretty much exactly the same as FHA and conventional. In fact, the VA is now using contracting for FHA and conventional appraisers to do their own appraisals. So it's not always an employee of the VA, although right now they're actually slow. So conventional loans, FHA loans, they all require an appraisal for a refinance. In most cases, you can get an appraisal sometimes for either of those. You get an appraisal waiver. But for a refinance on a VA loan, you don't need an appraisal 100% of the time. So they're not busy because they're just doing purchases, and purchases are actually somewhat down because of the limited availability of inventory. So an appraisal, first of all, you're getting a much more, in my opinion, a much more experienced appraiser, and you are not getting a separate inspection. You're getting just a regular appraisal. So no,
Yeah.
I do not see the handrail thing that we used to see.
Right. Let me go back a step. I didn't mean the old-fashioned VA inspecting. I meant just what you just said. A VA appraiser comes out. Next thing you know, they say, "Hey, right, the railings on the deck are not, they're spaced too far. You can stick your head there." That's what I was talking about. Not necessarily a VA inspection, but the appraiser pointing out things that usually don't become a problem.
Right. In the past, what you saw was if the cement pieces as you're walking up to your house
Right.
are not even, and someone could trip, and you know, you're having your housewarming party, and the appraiser wants to, you know, help the you know, protect the veteran. So you know, so the guest comes and trips and falls and sues you. That's what their thought was. And then a handrail going up to the front door or out from the back door. And really it was the back door. Usually when you walk out, there's no handrail on those, you know, maybe there was 3-4 steps going down. So if it's more than 2 steps, they're supposed to have some sort of handrail there. And that was asked for a lot. And then going down to the basement, there's typically supposed to be some sort of handrail. And then if a deck was, you know, ready to fall over, they would talk about that.
Yeah,
Now,
I
we
see
haven't
many
seen
of
any
the
of that
agents
this year. So I haven't since February. I haven't seen one of those things.
I see many of the agents are chiming in about the handrails, that they all still have the same problem with VA and handrails, but that's, you know, who knows?
Well, ask if anyone can put in the chat that they've had one this entire year. Let me know, because we
Yeah,
have
Barbara Rose, they're in there in the chat.
this year though. I mean, 2020. I mean,
Absolutely.
you had that in
Just on
2020.
on my last VA appraisal,
And
I-
what?
I got dinged for no handle on the sliding glass door, and I promised him I'd get it fixed. And I showed him that the sliding glass door could still open. Yeah, it was rigorous.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's rare.
All right,
But appraiser to appraiser, you can get that every now and then. You know, everybody knows that some appraisers are a little bit picky, but I have not. We have not. You should have used us for the loan, Barbara. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're the listing agent.
I would have loved to have used you guys for the loan. It was absolutely the worst pen fed experience that I could have imagined.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, and I have not seen that. But yes, if something is, you know, if an appraiser has something to pick at, you're right. There's never telling them no. I mean, whatever it is, they're going to stand strong, and getting whatever they want done and taking a picture of it and sending it to them is the best course of action, no matter what, even if they're completely wrong, in my opinion.
all right. Any more questions for Rich? All right, thanks, Rich. All right, coming soon. And if you didn't get a slide and you have something you want to talk about after we get through these, just let us know. Cat's Tavern Drive. Pilar, are you on the call? I don't think she's on the call. It's with Pilar and Anna. If you have any questions, 895, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, plus a studio on the ground level. And Alexandria primary room has a large, is that bath, I guess? Walk-in closet and loft area, spacious corner unit, large kitchen with cooktop, double war ovens. Beautiful unit. Going active on Friday the 22nd. You can reach out to Anna or Pilar if you have any questions about that. Next slide. Mary or Michael, you're on the call.
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
We had this house on the market last year. We had lots of traffic and a lot of near misses. And people kept saying that the kitchen was really dated. It was nice. It was granite and stainless, but it was dark and it was a little awkward. And she just pretty much gutted it and put in all new white cabinets and white countertops and better lighting. And it's now there was an awkward space between the kitchen and the family room. Now it's one big kitchen. So hopefully that will make a big difference. She also had a lot of dead trees taken down and landscaping. One bathroom hadn't been renovated. She redid that one, put in better lighting in the basement, moved the washer and dryer to the second floor, sort of addressed all the things we were hearing back from people. So we're putting it back on the market at a slightly higher price. But if somebody wants to see it a little bit earlier, technically it's on the corner of Quaker Lane and Coventry, but with the new trees planted in the front and it's sort of down below the street level, the Quaker Lane is really a non-issue. So if somebody wants to get in early, let me know.
Any next slide? All right, today's, if you guys go through this, really good, a good power hour on open house conversion. All right, you can go out of the slides, Jacinta.
Mark,
Anybody have anything else, any other listings or things they need or buyers needs they want to talk about?
hey, Mark, this is Sherry. I do have coming soon. I didn't get it in for the slides, but it's an in-unit townhouse in Prince George's equestrian community. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, built in 2013. It's in great condition, hardwood floors. Should be coming on at the end of the month. January 30th is our target. And it's priced in the low 500s. Love to sell it in-house.
Yeah, me too.
We could.
All right, do you have any other questions, any other listings, anything to talk about?
Hey, Mark, it's Diane.
Diane?
Hi, I am looking for a single family home in Leesburg or Ashburn, starting February through the summer. If anybody has anything coming up, I would really appreciate it. So let me know. I need a 4 or 5 bedroom.
All right, and Diane, remember, if you give me the info, I'll send it over to Omni's office to put it in his sales meeting.
Great, thank you.
That's the Loudon office, if you want, as it gets closer. Right now, it's a little, soon
Okay,
it gets
great.
closer. Anything else, any other listings, questions, things to do? Before I forget, because of the inauguration, Jacinta will not, well, she wasn't gonna be here tomorrow anyhow on Wednesday, but because, I don't want to say she's leaving early today, because I'm worried, she commutes into DC. So she'll be leaving sometime probably early afternoon. Carol will not be here tomorrow for the same reason. Carol's not much of a fighting the traffic kind of person. So I don't know how crazy it'll be. So I told her to work from home tomorrow, but everybody's working, they're just working from home. I'll be here tomorrow all day, of course, if everybody needs me. Anything else?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. I will be available via text message, phone, email. So if you do need me during the day, just let me know. But yeah, this morning it was like walking through a war zone. So I just need to get home so I can sleep in my own bed tonight. So just let me know, guys, if you need me.
All right. I think that is, and again, if you have any ideas on these emails we're going to put out twice a month, this content for you to be able to share with your clients, so it makes you look good and you're staying in touch with them, just let us know. And we'll try to get that the DC closings and the map out by this afternoon, so you can send it on to your clients that way as well. All right. I think that's it. Thanks for everything, guys. Take care.